Live from the Talking Joe studios,
it's Talking Joe with Chief and Chris. Hey! Chief is me, joined by...
Diagnostic is I, 80. That doesn't make any sense. Yes, correct. How you doing, buddy? Long time.
Long time, week. Week is a long time in the world of podcasting.
It is.
You know, some clowns do this daily. That might be you, actually.
That is me, actually, yeah.
Yeah, I'm doing well.
Call me the White Clown. You can be Magda.
It's too slow. What's that little short guy called?
I don't know. Tiny man.
He's dead, isn't he, hopefully? Anyway, what have I been doing? Today, I decided to start watching a new film. Well, it's not a new film. It's a film I've never seen before, but it is The Sixth Day, Arnie Schwarzenegger.
How do you know? He's not you, and you're not him.
I know who I am. The Sixth Day.
Wow, how have you managed to not see that in your lifetime?
Well, after watching 10 minutes of it, I realise how I've not seen it, because at the moment, it's guff.
It is
However,
a bit guff, yeah.
What I'm saying is, the opening premise and makes it look like it's going to be good, as in like a bad kind of Arnie action movie, which is actually a good thing. And it's all about, I don't really know anything it's about, apart from the fact it's cloning seems to be a thing, and it's set in a sort of short-term futuristic setting, and Arnie has been smiling a lot, and yeah, and I don't really know what's going to happen because I'm only about 10 minutes in, but then I had to stop to do work, I think. Yeah. And the other thing I've been doing is I've been drinking Irish cream liqueur coffees all day.
You are shit.
And the other thing I did was I've been watching a lot of athletics on the TV. It's the World Championship Athletics from Doha, and I've been watching a lot of that exciting stuff. In fact, just before I came onto you, I watched a 3.5 hour pole vault.
Hang on. Just before you did what? Just before you came
onto you. Yeah, I'll rephrase that.
The amount of doings that are going to be around that.
Just before I went into the loft to come onto the show with you to record, I watched a 3.5 hour pole vault competition between Duplantis from Sweden and Kendricks from the USA, won by the American with a jump of 5 meters 97.
That stuff blows my mind. The pole vault. I don't know how anybody does that.
Yeah, that's good stuff. But the only other thing I've been doing is playing a bit of Desert Strike, which means, hey there, mate, want to hear something great? The Chief is here with a Desert Strike update.
That's not as good as last week's rap, can I say? Last week's rap was so smooth I didn't have to cut it up or anything. Like it fell beautifully on that 120 BPM, believe it or not.
Well, I've extended this one to 4 lines instead of 3.
Okay,
so maybe that's where I went wrong. But anyway, so I've been playing Desert Strike.
A long time ago. Sorry,
I am on to, I think last week I had completed 2 missions and I was on to, or campaigns, on campaign 3.
Yeah, correct.
And sad to say I'm still on campaign 3.
It's a toughie.
I've had another few goes. It took me several goes to work out where all the hidden ammo, fuel and armour is, because it's under dunes, sand dunes and buildings.
Yeah. And
so I worked all that out. Like a fact-finding few goes, and then I went in for a hardcore go yesterday.
Going.
Got to the fight. There's like 8 missions within the campaign, and there's no save point. If you don't do it, you start right back at the beginning again.
So annoying.
And got to the final one, which is there's like a US embassy, and you've got to escort someone out. But I couldn't find where the scumbag was. Where was he hiding? Well, he's not scumbag. He's one of our guys. Where was that hiding? I couldn't find him. And ended up just running out of fuel and dying. That was my last life. So had another crack today, more efficient. I knew where everything was, went in, saved lives. You know, I had like 4 lives left at the end. I'm on like mission 5, which is you have to go out over the sea, and there's a couple of airmen have been shot down, and they're in some dinghies, and you've got to rescue them. There's some enemy speedboats going around.
So
there's 3 of them.
I love that
mission. Rescue 2 of the 3, and flew out over there. First guy I accidentally killed as I was aiming for the speedboat. You got to get 2 out of 3, that's fine. Got to the next one, inadvertently launched the Hellfire missile and killed the second one as well.
Just in case, just to make sure.
It immediately said, return to frigate. That is it, mission over. So I slammed the pad down in disgust and have not returned to it since. So tomorrow I will try and do campaign 3.
And that's the update.
What about you? What have you been up to?
It's kind of similar to last week. Loads of work on, which is good, but it's highly stressful, especially around when you've got a little doggy who's kind of struggling a little bit. And Max had his last treatment on Saturday. He's actually sitting on my lap as we speak. I've actually had to set up a podcast scenario where Max is in a little bed on my lap. So I'll send a picture because it's really adorable. But yeah, he's just been struggling a little bit, kind of restless at night. And he's been into the vet in and out kind of with these like cold laser treatments for pain. And he's kind of improved dramatically, but just as soon as it comes to nighttime, it's like he's, saving all of his energy up to then just be restless all night long. All night long, all night. And he kind of keeps Kate and I kind of on our toes all night long. All night long, all night. We've had to kind of take it in turns to sleep on the floor because my back is just done right now. My lower back is, forget about it. But yeah, so other than that, just working my cans off. And yeah, all is good. I've dropped about, probably about 7 boss fight videos recently, so check out their boss fight YouTube channel. We've got more coming as well. Like I've just been dumped with another like 3 or 4 things to do, and I've been working on this diorama for this product feature, and oh my god, it's going to be amazing. I know I said the same thing last week, but it's just taking me this long to do, and when you see it, I think you're going to be impressed, shall we say?
Impressive. Most impressive.
Good.
That's me.
Good stuff. Right, I've got this in front of me. I've been wanting to crack it open for a while now. So
Same.
Let's go to beverages.
Beverage for the show. Do-do-do-do-do. The beverage for the show. Do-do-do-do-do. Now I am gonna go do-do and drink my beverage for the show.
Who's going first?
I'm going to go first because I'm dying to taste this. Okay, so the story goes, long story. I needed to get I needed to get passport photos for and a midichlorian count, and and so I inquired online, and Walgreens was a great place to get them. So I was like, okay, good. There's Walgreens not too far from me, so I'll call up and just make sure they've got a passport photo kind of place, and they did. So it's brilliant. Okay, cool. Went in there, waited for about 20 minutes. Saw that they had this drink on the shelf. Well, so I picked that up because I thought, oh yeah, I'll have that for beverage for the show. I've been dying to get this for that. And the woman said, she took the pictures and everything. I waited for another 20 minutes. So bear in mind, there's about 40-minute wait now. And she said, I'm really sorry, but I'm going to have to wait for the tech to come in. And I was like, okay, when's that? Tomorrow morning. So I was like, no. I'll just go to another Walgreens and get it done. So I left there annoyed. Left the drink behind, kind of in like, I'm not going to give you any of my money, you idiots, because you're thick. And then
inside Chris's mind.
And then I went to another Walgreens, like miles away, got in there, got the pictures taken, and then the guy said, oh no, we don't do digital versions. I'm like, you've just taken a digital photo, and you're telling me you can't give me a digital version of it at all. I said, can you even just take it with my phone? And he's like, no, we can't do that. I'm like, you piece of shit. I can't believe you've wasted my time. Even that's what I asked for in the first place. And I left angry again. And basically it led me to not get this drink each time. And unfortunately I caved and just got Kate to buy it for me. And it is basically a Mountain Dew mystery flavour voodoo. Limited edition 2019. And no one knows what the flavour is, but there have been ideas floating around. I'm going to give it a shot now. So here we go.
Yeah, do it.
It's in its usual plastic bottle, black cap, but it's a see-through bottle. And guess what? The liquid, Mountain Dew's usually like luminous yellow, whatever. This is cloudy white. It's so freaky. So here we go. You ready?
And he's finished the bottle.
Oh yeah, that's sexy.
Yeah, it's a good one.
So there's definitely that Mountain Dew flavour kind of in the background, but there's definitely like a creamier taste beforehand. I think I'm going to say it's very much... Okay, so I don't know what the flavour is, the mystery flavour is, but that's like Mountain Dew mixed with cream soda.
Oh, yeah.
It's like Mountain Dew mixed with cream soda. It's really nice, but I can't tell you what the mystery flavour is. It won't be cream soda, but I'm throwing it out there. Anyway,
Yeah.
you're up, buddy.
Oh, very good, very good. Mine is I've never seen this before. I bought it in Sainsbury's today, and it's a 4-pack of cans in a cardboard box, which is good because no plastic there. And the make is Gunner Steelworks, and Gunner is Gunna.
Oh, right, okay.
Gunner Steelworks, and the picture on the front is a lion with a pair of glasses on,
Obviously.
and it is cola and ginger.
Gingola.
Yeah.
Colinja.
Battling the bland to our very demanding taste buds, old school soft drinks lack character, so Gunner is crafted to bring you uncompromisingly good fizzy drinks with distinctive flavour delivered in style.
Okay. Yeah, because fizzy drinks don't do that. Fizzy drinks don't have flavour, do they? What a weird thing to say. Nice.
Let's have a go. Less than 5% sugar, made with natural juice, no flavour, and no flavours. Made with natural juice and flavours.
We're doing what no drink has ever done before. No flavour.
Okay. No artificial colours or flavours. Duh. Yeah.
Is it uncompromising?
It's nice, but
all that hype. All that hype just bigged it up for you, and it's ruined now.
No. What it is, I have
AIDS?
been drinking a lot of the Pepsi flavours stuff. So the cherry Pepsi, the Pepsi ginger, the Pepsi raspberry.
Yeah.
And so I'm thinking, right, I'm going to compare it to the Pepsi ginger, because this is effectively cola and ginger. Now this is more cola-y, which is good because I like actual cola flavour, and it's a lot more gingery, which is good. So this is better, and the more it swirls around on my taste buds, that's actually a very nice drink.
Awesome.
So there you go.
As a grower, that grew on you.
Yeah, it did grow on me big time. That ginger's sitting on the back of my throat. It's like tingling my taste buds. It's nice. I don't think I've got an Inside Chief's mind today, because I think we've done it already with Inside Chris's mind.
Yeah, Walgreens.
No, seriously, I have got one, but it's not as good as yours, so I'm going to save it for next week.
Okay, so I'll just do Inside Chris's mind instead.
And we've actually heard what it was earlier.
Yeah. So I just wanted to do the audio. That's basically all I wanted to do.
Yeah. Right. Well, we actually do have to talk about comics, I guess.
Comic talk, oh, comic talk. Larry Hama writes them, Chief and Chris discuss them, whoa. Comic talk, oh, comic talk. Larry Hama writes them, Chief and Chris discuss them, whoa.
Today we are looking at, I'm just finding the issues.
127.
Yes, 127, which is a standalone story, and then we're going to look at 128 all the way through to 131. So we've got 5 jam-packed issues today, 1 single and 1  4-issue arc. So let's look at the cover of 127.
Dynamic.
This is some Joes on some of those snap-together copters.
Battle copters, yeah.
Need a lift, Duke? Thanks! Look, Cobra's got the plasma talks!
But here comes G.I. Joe battle copters, zip strip copters that really fly high.
Perfect for dropping in unexpected!
Watch out, Duke. Cobra's got battle copters too. Cobra and G.I. Joe battle copters can work with any figure. G.I. Joe and Cobra battle copters sold separately with figure.
I hate when this happens!
Battlecopters, I like the fact that
and the gliders in the background as well.
And the gliders in the background, yeah.
The battle for the plasma talks takes to the skies with Joe and Cobra Air Commandos, soaring gliders that can fly up to 30 feet.
I've got the plasma talks, Cobra!
And the Tomahawk.
And the Tomahawk, yeah.
And King Kong.
Yeah, I've not seen that before. My eye has just been drawn to King Kong at the top of the tower.
Amazing, isn't it? I think that's like Cobra Commander or one of the Vipers or whatever.
Okay, all right, yeah, we'll give it to you. But I like that cover, that's a good one.
There's also, I didn't notice this either, but there are also dudes a little bit further down on like each level of the Empire State Building, like shooting up at the Joes. For some reason, I've only ever just seen the copters like yourself, and then maybe the Tomahawk was a new thing. I'd never seen that before, and yeah, it's so weird what you don't notice.
Yeah. We'll look at the other covers when we come to that.
Good
arc.
idea.
So
Good
I
idea.
say we just crack on. Right. first thing I noticed here is, actually, I like the title of this one, Playing with the Big Boys.
I like the fact it says Cobra Takes Manhattan on the cover. It sounds like a really crap movie subline, doesn't it? Like Outbreak 2, The Virus Takes Manhattan.
Back to a splash page at the front, because I think we had an issue, didn't we, previously, where it wasn't a splash page. Back to the splash page.
G.I. Joe Colton.
Yep, just to let everyone know, obviously Larry Harmer's on script, Andy Wellman's on pencils, Bob Downs and Stephen Baskerville on inks, Rick Parker's on letters, and Bob Shreen's on colours.
There's like a lot of, not in-jokes, but like homage to the original G.I. Joe here, because that's who we're dealing with, you know.
Yes.
You've got the original G.I. Joe and G.I. Jane who operate in this building. And it's this big laser, this ECBM or whatever it's called. I think it's called something else, REPB or something like that. I can't remember what the name of it is, actually.
Rapid Pulse Electron Beam?
Yeah, RPEB. Yeah, the RPEB, as we, should refer to it.
And these are characters we've seen before. We saw these guys in issue 86, Joe and Jane, and even in this same location. So a lot of similarities.
I love the little one, you know, Stalker and Duke are just walking around, like, looking at stuff, and they're picking up pictures of him and Jane together, and that picture of when he was just an adventurer. I love that. And obviously G.I. Jane in the nurse uniform are the homages of those particular toys back in the day, which I just think is brilliant. I love that so much as a little like homage. I think it's great. And also Stalker's rocking his new duds. He's rocking his Talking Battle Commander's costume now.
Yes, he is. So, I mean, there's a few new looks here, isn't there? Stalker, I think you get Wild Bill's new look as well.
Yep. Oh, interesting about that. There's a figure that's just been dropped by Dime Novel Legends, which is an homage to that Wild Bill deco. It's brilliant. I'll post it so you can see it. But it's going to be a show exclusive 4-inch Dime Novel Legends figure that could obviously work really well with your modern G.I. Joe figures as well. So yeah. Anyway, carry on.
Okay. Well, no, I was going to say, now that you've pointed out the new Stalker outfit, it's another one of these. Armani, Prada, Versace too. Joe's changed their outfits from black to blue. Duke and Hawk, look but don't gawk. Changing their kit, whoa, is that legit? Swapping camo jackets, headgear and boots. It's now neon colours and funky spacesuits. Sci-fi Stalker and even Roadblock. While Bill, Flint and Mutt gave me a shock. So go take a walk if clothes aren't your passion, because it's comic book talk and lovely G.I. Joe fashion.
Yeah, amazing. Can I just point out, I don't write these for the Chief. The Chief is like solo on this, and in all honesty, they come out better than any of the raps I do on any of the other podcasts.
Sure about that.
Yes, they do. That was amazing.
Thank you, sir. So this is a new segment, if you hadn't guessed, and this has come in very, not recently, but it's been a regular theme, especially over the last kind of 10-15 issues of pretty much every arc we cover now. We're not only getting new Joes, although that has taken a bit of a...
We're not really getting new Joes at all, are we? It's like update decos.
Well, there was that period where every issue felt like a new Joe was coming in, and now we're in a period where the original, Joes we'd seen before are getting revamped outfits.
Yeah.
And so you pointed out here, you've got the Stalker one.
Oh, there are loads.
Duke has got his new outfit here, which I've never seen before, and Wild Bill are the three main ones from here. And we'll also pick up, we're not going to do the rap again, or I'm not going to do the rap again for the next arc, but there's a load we'll pick up of new outfits for the next story we cover as well.
Sorry, Mountain Dew, mystery flavour. Can you tell what it is from that burp?
Cream soda. You were right.
Good
Ding.
Man.
So let's just talk about these new looks then, because we've done a rap for it, so we might as well, talk about them a bit.
Of course.
Stalker,
this is my favourite Stalker, by the way.
Okay, so and again, I'm not familiar with any of these toys, as I keep reiterating. I saw the look of Stalker, and I was like, oh, I like this a lot. Until later on, I saw his white camo pants. I thought he was fully the same colour head to toe.
Nah.
But later on, I find out that he's got almost Storm Shadow-esque urban camo pants.
Yeah, it's almost like Tiger Force stripes as well on them. But like this was the deco that he had for his Talking Battle Commander, and then also the Hall of Fame was quite similar to that as well. And I do love this Stalker because of that particular nostalgic buzz from like having the figure as a kid, I think it was the only Hall of Fame figure I had actually as a child, and that Stalker figure was just super cool. I mean, the Tundra Ranger one is pretty awesome. Like there's no doubt about how freaking amazing that figure is. But there's just something about this deco. Now, one of the only other issues that you could probably have with this particular figure, with me talking toys before I should be here as well, is the fact that his backpack was screwed onto him. Like a lot of it was only with the talking battle commanders, I think, but you had the supersonic fighters, the sonic fighters, their backpacks came off, no worries, and they had sound effects in them. And this particular Stalker figure, he's got tiger stripe like pants in this issue, but the figure had more of a blotchy pattern on the legs. And he would say, "Let's party, attack, and blitz them."
General Hawk's got something to say. New G.I. Joe talking battle commanders. Each says 3 different battle commands. And an all-new combat sound. There's Stalker. Cobra Commander. Overkill. And General Hawk. G.I. Joe talking battle commanders, each sold separately.
When I hear those words said, I always repeat it in like a Stalker sounding way from the backpacks. But and like with Duke as well, I mean, that was a kind of a really different look for him, and very much for like the desert kind of camo that like we'd seen recently with like the Gulf War, and kind of going into like desert combat. Everyone really associated American troops in that kind of Vietnam era camo, and then all of a sudden desert stuff started coming in like loads, and that they gave it to Duke as a cost, as as an outfit effectively.
What about Wild Bill? It's a bit.
Oh, it's mental.
It's a bit Confederate. He's got, I don't know. It feels a bit.
It's super Wild West.
I like the old Wild Bill.
It's super
I like the old
Wild
Bill look, but it is super sort of. It's got a neck scarf, a neckerchief.
Yeah, they just kind of like attacked the stereotype in a massive way, didn't they? They just went like, okay, what can we throw on this figure to make it like super Wild West? And that's what they did, and they just threw loads of like visual cues to the Wild West all over him, and then painted him a ridiculous colour. In fact, there are 2 versions of this particular deco. He's got white pants and black pants, and I can probably guess that your favourite's going to be black pants, Wild Bill.
Yes. Right, so we should probably explain for those who haven't read this issue that the Joes are back with original Joe Colton in, what is the building again?
Empire State Building.
No, I don't think it is. I think we said it might have been, and it isn't. Not the Chrysler Building. I'm sure we said it was the Empire State Building last time and someone corrected us. Or maybe not. Maybe we said it was something different. Anyway, I don't really care. Anyway, they're here, and like you said, Joe showed them this RPBM ZD724 laser or whatever it's called. And what they do is they find out that someone has hacked into their line to the Pentagon. And so we send some Joes out to investigate the swamplands of Jersey. Jersey is all swampland, though, isn't it? I'm not sure.
Not all of it.
I don't know.
No.
Okay. So they go out to the swamplands. And
it is the Chrysler Building. It is the Chrysler Building. Okay. Yeah, you were right. You were
Even
spot
though
on.
it looks, this is air quotes, exactly like the Empire State Building.
You are spot on. I apologise. It is definitely the Chrysler Building.
Anyway, they discover this nest of cobras, and they kind of flush them out, but then the cobras make their way to the building, and it's all, as we find out later, it was all a ploy by Cobra Commander.
It was a ruse!
Yes, he wanted to use that big old laser, that Z247X Spectrum laser, to shoot down a boat.
Spectrum.
A boat that was escaping with Headman and his cash and his drug boat. And
it's a big old tanker, wasn't it? Massive thing.
Yeah. I like this issue. There's lots to like, and early on you get quite a lot of exposition as Joe is explaining about the laser, and this is the kind of exposition that I really like, because it didn't feel, I think one of the worst offenders would harken back to, I think it was issue 106, where Major Blood's in Barovia. He's going to shoot Snake Eyes in the back, and some trooper pops up out the ground, and Major Blood explains to the reader, if the guy hadn't popped out the ground,
I'd have gotten away with it, hadn't been a few pesky kids.
Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
The pictures were explaining it. We didn't need the exposition, but here, because it's kind of static figures, we need to be told that a standard laser beam gets dissipated by the atmosphere, and the pulses burn successive holes in the air so that the last pulse is travelling through a clear tunnel with its full force.
Full force!
This beam can bounce off the parabolic mirror of any 6 geosynchronous satellites to hit a target anywhere in the hemisphere. So, you know, I like all that stuff. That's good.
They gave a shout out to the full force, which was really nice of Larry to do many years before we even started it. So that was nice.
They did, yeah. What's your thoughts? Again, I feel Cobra feels a little bit low rent in that it's Cobra Commander holed up in a shack with a couple of Techno Vipers playing cards.
No, I like this. I didn't see it as low rent. I saw it as Cobra Commander being like very devious and very kind of manipulative and making the Joes think that he was just being a dick effectively, and what he was doing was drawing them out so he could then get in and then, you know, obviously take out Headman and then slip out undetected. And it was just like, I like how it wasn't a straight A to B story necessarily. There was a little twist in there as to his intentions, but I feel that that's been happening a lot recently. Like you kind of almost he gets around some of these L's, some of these losses, by insinuating that his original plan was this, you know, and then it's like, oh right, okay. There's still no real change has happened. You know what I mean? He got rid of the Headman and everything, but why the hell couldn't he have just done that himself without the help of a laser from orbit? Like, he's got an entire army in the place that Headman and his headhunters are. So why doesn't he just sort it out from there? It was elaborate when you think about it, but at the same time, I didn't necessarily see it as low rent. More of him being kind of like, look what I can do. Look where I can be and what I can do, and look how I can manipulate all of these pieces. It kind of feels like the original Cobra Commander again, doesn't it?
Yeah, and I do like the way that kind of incorporates. I do like the way that Larry has, for this issue, he kind of keeps a lot of it shrouded in mystery. You know, you don't really know what the Cobra Commander's plan is till later on in the issue. You don't really know where he's going or what the twist is, or you know, you see Headman pop up, but you're thinking, why is he popping up in this issue at this point? Is it just a callback to when he was getting chased out of Brocker Beach, etc.? And then obviously you get the twist where, like you said, Cobra Commander's used this laser to target his enemy, and then nice little touch as they're leaving the building. It's a callback to whatever is issue 55, I think it is, where Destro and Cobra Commander exit the pit into a shopping mall and get hooked up in some gear, and Cobra Commander's back in that beret with the tash and the shades.
Classic look.
As they walk past Stalker, Duke and Joe, who don't notice them.
You kind of have to say as well, like with obviously Cobra taking out Headman and the Headhunters, it's not the Transformers comic.
New Transformers are here. Incredible new headmasters, and the driver of the vehicle becomes the head of the robot. Headmaster Transformers, and when the head enters the robot's body, you get a readout of its power.
And our new Decepticon headmasters will give us more brain power than ever. Transform, you monsters, and prepare to attack! Headmaster Transformers, they've got the power to surprise.
Sold separately.
You have, like, almost a pointless drug elimination force again. Like, they've been unsuccessful in their first mission and got a number of people killed.
Yeah.
You know, like, I wouldn't say innocent civilians, but obviously it's the child. Well, the child's not dead. You know, the Crimson Guard, maybe you could probably say, okay, it's a Crimson Guard. But the wife, you know, like she died. I know they're all supposed to be like Cobra anyway, and they're all supposed to know what's actually happening. But it still, you know, felt like a complete loss on their behalf. And then someone else goes and does their job for them. So they don't even really get any shine in the comics of actually doing anything of any note. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a shame. Anyway, yeah.
Last couple of things just to say about this issue. At the end, Cobra Commander points towards bigger things because he's like, I can beat them. I can really beat them. And, you know, he thinks the Joes, he can crush them under his heel, so expect big things coming up. The other thing is, my favourite bit of dialogue from this issue is on page 8, where they've now hooked into this line, and Cobra Commander says, "Let the music begin. A little Nacht music, eh? Play, gypsies, play!" As he pumps music into the Chrysler Building.
Amazing.
Play, gypsies, play. And the other thing,
it's not the Chrysler Building, it's the Empire State Building. I'm joking. I'm kidding, of course. I know everyone's going to be going mental when I'm arguing with you.
The other thing I just want to point out before we go on to Yo-Joe, this one is, it is time for Comic Talk within Comic Talk.
Comic Talk oh, comic talk.
Stop. Rewind, selector. It's comic talk, but not as you know it. I'm asking Chris questions, let's hope we don't blow it. I found some ads in this comic I'm reading. Chris's brain is working overtime, I think you hear it bleeding. NFL and NBA trading cards. He's digging up answers like bodies in graveyards, cereal, candy and video games. His knowledge is good. Is it as good as he claims? Can he name the X-Men or even the Avengers? Landing answers like, right hook might need some dentures. If you don't like this segment, you best take a walk, because it's comic ad talk within comic talk. That's not even right, it's comic ad talk within comic talk. Don't even know mine's segment.
Damn you.
Experience the excitement. Experts in video game entertainment, Konami or Konami, as you say.
All right.
Play X-Men today at an arcade near you. No excuses.
Nice.
So here I have pictures for the 4-player, and I didn't know they did it, a 6-player X-Men arcade cabinet.
Nice.
Can you name the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 characters on the art on the side of the cabinet?
Oh my goodness! For the game, probably
so
Colossus.
Just to clarify, this comic came out in August 1992. So Colossus is guess 1. Ding.
Oh, good. Got that right. It's got to be Wolverine, hasn't it?
Ding.
Nightcrawler.
Ding.
Storm.
Ding.
Cyclops.
Ding, ding, ding.
Jean?
No, this is the toughest last one.
It's a good personage.
I like the character. She has not had that much exposure in the comics, and she wasn't really part of this team. So
Great.
She's an X-Men, obviously. She's married to another character associated with the X-Men.
Oh, it's not. Oh, I don't get. Okay, I got 5.
Yeah.
Kitty.
No.
What's that one? What's her name? In all like the green. Is she green?
I didn't remember her outfit as being green. No, are you thinking about Polaris?
Yes.
No.
Okay, then no, go for it. Psylocke?
No, her power is light-based.
It's not Jubilee.
No.
And it's not... Dazzler!
Yes, Dazzler.
I love Dazzler.
Ding.
Sorry. I'll let you all down my last one.
Yeah.
I love Dazzler. I have her Marvel Legends figure. It's amazing. She's on roller skates.
Yeah.
It's freaking dope. I love it.
Back of this issue... profile again. It's a really nice shot of the Baroness by George Perez.
I used that art on our news burst.
Yeah, it's a nice one. We'll post that up.
It's well good.
In terms of Joe-age, that is, Joe Coleridge, what are you saying?
I'm going to throw this. It's going to be in the 8 vicinity. It's enjoyable, beautiful art. You get loads of characters in there. There's a lot of kind of fun aspects to it. There's battles in there. It's got everything you really want in a G.I. Joe comic, I think. And it's there are certain elements about it that kind of take away from it being like really high. But for the fact that it's sort of like a one shot and it kind of sits in between 2 kind of fairly significant arcs, I think it's a pretty solid one shot and would have been an enjoyable read, knowing that you're going into like another long arc after this. So yeah, I'd probably give it I'll say low 8.
Yeah. That's a good shout. I think I'm going to go...
I always talk myself into the score. Like, it's weird. Anyway, carry on.
I think I'm going to go for a low 7. I was just going to try and bring up the Every Joe Story Ever spreadsheet to see what I gave 86, which is quite a comparable issue because...
Oh, yeah.
Same kind of cast, same setting, almost a similar plot as well. And as I went to do that, my laptop screen has gone completely black. So...
Ooh.
I don't even know if my laptop is on or if you're even getting my audio into your feed.
Yeah, I'm getting you.
Okay.
So your laptop on that's doing cast right now?
My laptop that is recording is on. I can see the power light is on and my keyboard is lit up, but my screen is completely black. And I almost did a mistake of restarting the laptop, which would have been bad.
Oh,
So I couldn't go back and look at what it was. So I think I'm going to go with a high 7. I tried looking up what I gave for 86, which was very similar, but I couldn't get into the document for reasons unknown. So I'm going to go with a high 7.
Okay, cool.
So moving on, we have now got a 4-issue arc to cover. Let's look at the covers first of all. 128, you've got Lady J and a... looks to be wounded Hawk on the cover. She's shooting off a gun.
Interestingly enough, this almost like panel exact copy appears in the next issue, like I think either as a splash page or like as a panel. So this doesn't actually happen in this issue. So again, I'm just throwing it out there, guys.
It's okay. It feels a bit flat, even though, she's shouting, he's screaming, she's shooting a gun off. It feels a bit flat for some reason.
I don't think it's framed very well. Like, I like the fact she's shooting and it's taking out Cobra Commander's picture and breaking all the little things up. That's cute. I like the fact there are bullet holes through the G.I. Joe logo, and one of them is zipping, like a tracer is zipping through it. Excuse me. I don't think it really fits the cover very well. There's a bit of like, if we're talking like composition and all that crap, there's a bit of dead space between a real American hero and the top of their heads. And I kind of think that could have been, I don't know, it could have been a better laid out on the cover, personally.
Yep.
It's all right.
129, this is, what is this, the Brawler? No.
Battle Wagon.
Battle Wagon, that's what I said. It's the Battle Wagon with some Joes there, Roadblock, Rock and Roll, Big Ben and Flint.
The Brawler's probably rolling down a hill somewhere with the handbrake on.
No, that's the Badger.
Oh, it was the Badger, wasn't it? You're right.
We're into bees at the moment. Not overly a fan of this cover. I think the colours don't, that, I don't know if that is again, I've never seen the toy, but I don't know if that is the colours of the toy. If it is, I don't like it because it's just too red and it's too blue.
Too toyetic, I suppose, isn't it?
It's just, I don't know. The colours on the, I'm not against,
people.
Yeah, people. I'm not against the comic veering away from the toy in terms of colour schemes. I think they probably should. And this is a scenario where they shouldn't have coloured it like the toy.
Okay, yeah.
But anyway,
they've got to sell it.
I'm always comic first over toy anyway.
Well, also, this is a kid's comic, don't forget. We're looking at it with adult eyes, don't forget.
Yeah, I guess. Now, 130, this is the best of the bunch so far.
Yeah, classic. Bashing through the wall.
I like this. Cobra invades the pit. Cobra Commander with a frag, a heat, and a saw viper. Anybody home? As they bust through the pit, as we're told on the top of the cover.
Heat Viper just completely neglecting the operating instructions on his bazooka again.
That is gonna backfire against Cobra Commander as well, I think.
Oh yeah, he's gonna get an armpit of like exhaust, isn't he? Big time.
Yeah.
I love on this
one
one.
The shoulder again, yeah.
I love how the covers like impact on the other design elements on the cover. Like I was saying, the bullet was going through the G.I. Joe logo. It's all full of bullet holes. And this one, you've got pieces of the pit of that wall just kind of like covering the G.I. Joe logo, which again is, because it's Cobra busting through, it's almost like they're taking over the comic cover and they're removing the G.I. Joe branding, as if to say, like, this is our comic and we're going to take over, kind of thing. I like that.
Yeah. And then 131, quite a dynamic cover. Duke is busting up a BAT, shot him right through the centre mass.
Absolute beast of a shot.
And I think the colourist thought it was Roadblock on the cover, but I think that's actually supposed to be Gung Ho.
Yes, good spot. It's supposed to be Gung Ho, and they've painted him black and given him a tash. So yeah, well, actually no, Gung Ho does. Well,
Gung Ho's
anyway.
got a tash, but
he's given a Roadblock tash.
Yes, yes.
Also, again, the logo's getting destroyed by Duke's shot as well. So it's going through the bat, and then it's like ripping up the logo again, which is cool. But yeah.
So what's actually going on here over these issues? Obviously, we've seen there on the covers that Cobra's invaded the pit, and the reason Cobra has invaded the pit is because Firefly has been in contact with Cobra Commander, saying, "I know the location of the pit." Last we saw Firefly in 126, he had taken captive all of the ninjas, not just Snake Eye, Storm Shadow, all of Ninja Force, Slice and Dice, all of the red ninjas aren't in this, I don't think.
No, they're
we
not.
can assume they're somewhere else, being
hanging
brainwashed.
Upside down with their fingers.
Exactly.
Doing their fingers.
He is now, doing some finger knitting. He has brainwashed all of these ninjas, like we said, and he's going to use them as his special covert force. And he has dug into, I think it's Storm Shadow's mind, where he gets the information from, because Snake Eyes is all locked boxes in there, and he's selling this information to Cobra Commander. And the other storyline with Lady J and Hawk, they're still trying to get out of Transcarpathia, which seems like about a year ago, and they've crossed over into the border, which is now Barovia. And this is the travails that pursue them as they try and make their escape. That's the two main things that are going on across these 4 issues.
Yeah, and like the Firefly thing, I just, it annoys me that we're doing the brainwave scanner thing again. Like, it gets really boring, I think, when we have to keep going back to brainwave scanning these ninjas who, guess what? They break it every time. Every single time. Like, they've got an Arashikage mindset thing that's, it's like, well, don't do that then. Do something else, because the brainwave scanner clearly doesn't work, and it never works. And I get really bored of seeing the brainwave scanner used, and they using it to this day in the IDW comics. Spoiler alert.
Well, interestingly, I've written down 2 things under my likes for this arc. The first thing is the Firefly and the brainwave scanner. Because when he was introduced as a ninja, a couple of issues ago, I was like, I don't buy it. Him ninja, do I buy it really? But then when this crops up, I like any kind of brainwave scanner stuff. So immediately I'm back on board with him, and I love all these scenes where
they explain it again, don't they?
They explain it again. He says, the drill by now. Follow me in electronic pixel form, like living characters in a video game, and they start smashing stuff, etc. I like all that stuff, and then they start, because he's resistant, they start papering up on these walls inside his brain pictures of Firefly just pointing at him, so that in the hope that he'll obey anything that Firefly has to say.
I just hate how it's always like, oh, he'll never get out of this, and then it's like, oh, it's impossible, he got out of it. It's like, he gets out of it every single time, without fail.
You're right. The other thing I've written one other thing down as and that is Lifeline ! Because we see Lifeline, I think, in one panel.
Yeah, with Stretcher in the back of the Tomahawk.
Stretcher, it's a nice call, but I love seeing all those old guys. So that was cool.
Yeah, they brought back a few, didn't they? We had, I think, Airtight, Tripwire in this particular, in this not arc, this issue, but in this arc. Yeah. And obviously you go back to the pit, and you've got kind of old characters who do actually, some of them have like new versions of them later on, but you have them in their old gear, and you have some of the characters in their new gear. And I suppose we can talk about them now, can't we? We've got Barbecue, Eco Warriors Barbecue.
Hate that look.
It's a bit crazy. It's a bit extreme. We've got Gung Ho, as we mentioned on that cover.
Oh, hate that look.
Okay, so we've also got, this is one of my favourites. It's just insane colour scheme, and it's a Road Pig. Yeah, the orange, like the ginger version Road Pig, which is just wacky as hell. I love him.
Yeah, no,
but
not
even if you hate him, yeah.
We also see the new look Eels, I think.
Eels up inside ya, finding an entrance where they can. Eels up inside ya, finding an entrance where they can. Boring through your mind, through your tummy, through your anus.
Well, they've been in it before.
Oh, have they?
Yeah, but it's the new version Eels, correct.
And we see a couple of new characters that I haven't seen before, Laser Viper and Flak Viper. I think we might have seen a Flak Viper in the last issue.
We have seen Flak Vipers for a while.
He shot down a Tomahawk, which always seems to be crashing, and they always seem to get Wild Bill a new one straight away.
Yeah. The Laser Viper's definitely their new, yeah.
I have written down 3 things I dislike about this arc. One is Road Pig, but not the. I don't mind the new outfit colour scheme. I much prefer the old one. But the thing I don't like is that it's all in uppercase when he's speaking as himself and Donald. Even though previously we'd seen Donald speak in lowercase, here when Donald's speaking it's all in uppercase. That was just a pet peeve of mine.
Yeah, it's hard to distinguish unless he's talking really intelligently. It's hard to distinguish, isn't it?
Yep. The other thing I've written down is the White Clown, because idiot shows up in Barovia. So the Joes are trying to get across the border, and it turns out that there's a revolution going on, as there always is in Barovia. Get them people under control, man. Jeepers.
No,
and
it's easy. Look at Iran and Iraq.
Hawker's taken a chest wound, and then the White Clown and Magda come on board. And his introduction it's not even introduced. He just appears on one panel and just gets involved.
So annoying. Like, I'm fed up with that crap. Like, seriously. Yeah. And can we just have him without his white makeup? Like, it's not a superhero, is he?
No.
It's like,
the other thing I've written down I dislike is Pit attacked ... again.
Again, yeah.
So this is kind of like your pet peeve of the brainwave scanner popping up all the time.
This is
My
also
pet peeve is
yet
again the pit is going to be attacked. It seems like every 10 issues, Cobra Commander's got a plan to attack the pit.
But it's like a failure. It's a failure on his part, but then it's revealed that wasn't his original plan. Yeah, exactly.
He wants
again,
to get it on
the
VHS.
same. He's literally just said the same thing in the last issue we looked at. And now in this arc, he's done exactly the same thing. It just seems to be like a get-out-of-jail-free card, almost like I'm not as incompetent as you think I am. I'm actually like this clever, scheming, bad guy. And I'm not sure how much that's going to work if this keeps happening. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
What is the end game if it's every single time your real plan is to do something else and you never quite utilise that?
Especially because at the end of the last issue, he's like, I can beat the Joes. I can really beat them. And here... he had a chance, possibly, to beat them to death, and then all he wanted was a videotape to then sell for money. So that's not really beating the Joes, is it?
No, it's really low. It's really low. That is really low rent, I think. When you think he could just literally pour troops into... You'd expect Cobra Commander to just pour troops into the pit until it was destroyed, because it will be eventually. The Joes will run out. Or, siege mentality, they'll run out of ammunition. They don't have an opportunity to get out and reinforcements. They're all pretty much all there, getting their ass handed to them, which I've always found quite a very poor tactic in terms of G.I. Joe, is that they're all stationed at the same place. To me, you need to have places all over, everywhere, not just Fort Wadsworth and, Utah. I'm talking
quick response.
Yeah. All over the globe, have Action Force in the UK, have blimmin' Commandos de Heroicos in South America, but utilise all those different places and groups and characters and all that kind of stuff, and have a quick reaction force everywhere where, some of the US Joes can link with, SAS Force or, come over to the South America and join those South American guys in some sort of operation. And instead, you're kind of... everyone's in the same place, and you just think, okay, Cobra Vi's isolated and identified where they are. Nuke it, destroy it, take that out. Go in there and literally just send scores and scores of bats until everyone in there is dead. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
I'm so angry that they haven't destroyed the Joes. I don't want them to.
Inside Chris's mind again. You don't need to play the jingle again, but I've just turned the page here. I've got another ad. It's another
I'm playing
Konami.
It again. I'm playing it again.
Economy.
It's playing again.
The Turtles are in for the times of their lives. You
Turtles
mentioned playing Turtles in Time. In fact, no, that was the one where you said someone spilt beer on the other Turtles one.
Correct, yeah.
So in this art for this game, the Turtles are dressed up in 4 different outfits, if you will, which is effectively, I guess, time periods they've gone through. I've never played this game, so I don't know. But you don't have to say which Turtles dressed in which outfit, but what 4 kind of themed periods are the Turtles dressed in? Okay, well, I remember they go to Wild West. Yep, you've got Raphael dressed as a cowboy. They go to space, futuristic. You've got Leonardo dressed in a spacesuit. Pirate ship. Michelangelo is dressed as a pirate. And dinosaurs. And Donatello is, it's difficult to tell because he's just kind of hunched over, and he's got a big club, so I'm guessing caveman. So ding, 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 and ding. Well, that, honestly, Turtles is like one of my favourite things ever. Right. Okay, good stuff. Makes up for your X-Men debacle. One character. Jesus, man. This is a tough show. Right. I just want to wrap up this Barovia stuff. So... The Joes have been cornered and they're in the soccer field and tanks are bearing down on them and they're digging for their lives, and what they find is a vault or a hidden cache of, it turns out to be gold bullion. I always call it cachet, but I know a lot of people that say cache. Yeah. I don't know what's right. I've always said cachet. Cache is right. Okay. No, I don't know. I don't know. How do you feel that concludes that storyline? Oh, also, before you answer that, I'm just going to say this is not the best. That's not fair. I like Andy Wildman as an artist. I'm not sure I like him when he's being inked by Stephen Baskerville, which is now a few issues in this arc and coming up. I think the previous inker does a better job because this is a little bit heavy. bit heavy, a bit bitty.
What can I get everyone?
I'll begin with a sandwich, please.
Yes.
Same for me, please. Thank you. Are you going to have anything, Harvey?
Bitty.
But
bitty. Yes, it is. I agree 100%. I don't really like the way it ends, especially the Barovia kind of thing, because it's so like, why would troops coming in with a tank? They've been desperately trying to kill these people. Why would they stop because someone just shouts at them? Why would they stop just because someone's saying, "Oh no, wait, I need to tell you something"? It's like they wouldn't. They just obliterate you. Like, why is sending Magda up there to kind of say, "Oh, it's okay. This, we've got gold, and gold's gonna be, you want gold, don't you?" It's like, I don't know. It's just so. I didn't like that at all, and it was a cop out, and I like when the Joes turn up and threaten them and they all piss off. That was better. That should have been how it ended. The battle wagon should have come in, taken them out at the last minute, and then like, oh, look at all this money. Do you know, that would have been better than this. Like, oh no, well, here you go, guys. You can have the money, 1 gold bar each. I don't know. Just that doesn't do anything. It doesn't do anything for me. It was a bit of a pointless thing, really.
There is a bit I do like here. At the end of issue 129, Firefly has now gone to Cobra Island in a hijacked 747, as you do. Cobra Commander and all his forces are flying out to Utah to the pit. And then you get a very Star Wars, Millennium Falcon on the Death Star, Han Solo moment where, all the ninjas come out of they've scanned the 747, no life forms are aboard. And Han Solo pops out, "I use these compartments for smuggling, never thought I'd be smuggling myself in them."
Boy, it's lucky you had these compartments.
I use them for smuggling. I never thought I'd be smuggling myself in them.
As Storm Shadow, all the ninjas come out of what looks like Millennium Falcon trapdoors and hatches and stuff, which was quite cool. I don't know if Larry's a Star Wars fan or not. And I do like the first page of the next issue where, the last page of that where Spirit is on guard duty.
Yeah.
And there's someone talking in the background. You don't know who it is.
Yeah.
And they're kind of saying, Spirit is there because, I can't explain it, he just sees things, that's all. And he kind of zoom in on Spirit as if he can sense what's coming next.
Yeah. I don't like some of the rapid things that happen in this that are just explained away by other characters, like how Snake Eyes performs the ARAH in Mindset, and just by kind of standing in between all of the ninja force and spinning around. I don't know. I just find that kind of stuff really. It's like kids playing in the playground. It's almost like that instant thing of like, tag, you're it, or like, I know I've shot you with my magic laser weapon that I didn't have before and now I have it. That's how it just screams to me like childlike in its description and in its kind of execution, and it does. I don't like that, and that was one thing that really kind of bugs me, because you want these characters, like Snake Eyes has almost become this like mythical creature now, and it's like, he got captured though. He got captured before he got brainwave scanned, but he's so impervious to that he can fight it, and then his mind is way more advanced than anyone else's, and all this kind of stuff, and it's just like, it gets to the point where you're like, well, if that's the case, can we stop going there now? Can we go somewhere else? Can we develop like a flaw in his character that enables him to be vulnerable for a second? Because otherwise, it's just John Wick or Liam Neeson in Taken. It's just a non-stop like killing machine that just there's no stakes at the end of it, because it's just, I'll just set Snake Eyes on it and everything will be fine. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. It's kind of the get out of jail free card almost, isn't it?
Yeah. The Snake Eyes of jail free card.
How is Cesspool not in prison? Because last I saw, he was on that plasma rig, the toxic plasmoid thingy rig, and the lawyer was seizing all his assets. But surely seizing his assets also sends him to jail.
I don't know. Maybe not.
Don't know.
Maybe the Cobra lawyers got him out. The Cobra lawyers are another get out of jail free card.
And
literally.
we have seen how effective those Cobra lawyers are. So
yeah.
Point taken.
He's actually pretty powerful, says Paul, and in this arc he comes across as quite a big deal, and that's something that I really liked. I like that he's commanding in that situational room with Cobra Commander Zarana and Road Pig. How he doesn't really take any crap. He dishes out orders just as Cobra Commander does, as if he doesn't care that Cobra Commander's there sometimes. So I do get like a good vibe. Oh no, I get a horrible vibe off him, but like I get a good character vibe off Cesspool.
Nice back of issue 130. There's a nice Destro profile and pin up by Joe Mad.
Yeah, another good
Joe Madureira. who Uncanny X-Men and Battle Chasers fame. We'll stick that one up. But yeah, just to conclude, for those who haven't read or we didn't cover it fully, Cobra ends up pulling out from the attack and ends up going back to Cobra Island. Firefly is like, I've captured Zorana and Cesspool. You can have them back if you give me whatever the 2.5 million or whatever it is, because Firefly had previously been chucked. Road Pig had chucked him into a hole in the ground when he'd landed on Cobra Island, and his ninjas got him out. And Cobra Commander's like, whatever, you can keep them couple of chumps. I've got this videotape here, and I'm sure it's the only copy in existence. He better make a copy, and he's going to sell that. He says, the raid was a raging success. I never intended to take the pit. It was only to prove that the new Cobra radar suppressor works and document it for sales releases. We're going to make billions selling this stuff to everyone interested in defeating US radar systems.
Taking the pit is my new,
Yeah.
Again, how can I just say, last thing to say on this, for me, you can obviously have the last word if you like, but I just want to say that how rubbish is Firefly? If he's a ninja, he's just been thrown in a hole twice. He's like, if he's supposed to be a ninja master. If he's anything like Storm Shadow, Snake Eyes, etc., if he's anything like those, anything like Zartan in ninja stuff, surely he can deal with Road Pig, or at least avoid Road Pig, or at least get out of there, or at least fight Cobra Commander. What threat is he if he's just picked up and thrown in a hole twice?
Well, he did say that was his plan. His plan was to get chucked in a hole, wasn't it?
But what's the point? If he can get out of that,
there's no point. Yeah,
why does he need to get in there to then be rescued when he could just get out of there, avoid it, and then they go do their thing, and he's left there on the island anyway? Why does he have to be... I don't get that. That doesn't make any sense to me. It seems like a pointless thing to do.
Yeah, I don't have an answer to that question.
Someone might see something more subtly, or it might be obvious, I don't know, but that just seems silly, and it doesn't really give him much... it doesn't make him a threat to me. If Road Pig can just pick him up and throw him in a hole, then what's the point? Anyway.
Yeah. Inside Chris's mind again.
I'm hungry today. What is wrong?
I'll tell you what it is. It's that bloody Mountain Dew.
It is. I've nearly... I have... What am I talking about? I have finished it. I finished it ages ago. But
of course you did.
It's definitely... I think it's performing the Arashikage mindset on me.
Nice. No, not nice. Yeah, what are you yo-joage?
I know I dissed it a lot, and I know we had a kind of a comment about the artwork, but I actually thought the artwork's really nice. And even though the colouring isn't spot on, I think Andrew Wildman's art in some places is gorgeous. And I think there's one panel that sticks out to me. I mean, there are many, but there's one where Storm Shadow is doing that flip on the Paralyzer tanks, and he takes up quite a few of the panels. It's just this big kind of arching body shape panel. Really nice. Yep. And again, some really gorgeous artwork. I must admit, I didn't... Honestly, before you mentioned it, I hadn't really noticed the colouring, because Andrew Wildman's art is that powerful to me that I almost saw past it. But this happens every time I drink a fizzy drink, doesn't it? I get really hyper, and I get really angry, and I can't calm down. I get ADHD all of a sudden. But yes, the art was so good, and the colouring where it falls down for me is when you see Cobra Commander and you see other characters where they've got dark aspects of their uniform. They just don't pop off the page. They kind of fall into this darkness a little bit, no detail and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, but at the same time, I really like it, and I wasn't that fussed about the plot until I started talking about it out loud. So I'm probably in the 7s. I don't want to drop it to a 6 because I don't think it's worth a 6. Just some elements are just so far-fetched, but I have to keep in mind that it is a kid's comic, and I really would have loved it as a kid, and I wouldn't have cared. And now I'm looking at it with the adult eyes. I'm probably just kind of being too harsh on it. And it still has loads of fun stuff in there, loads of battles, loads of stakes going on. I think it's cool. I think it's fun, and I'm probably going to go low 7.
I am also going low 7, I think. Next week, it's 3 issues. It'll be 132, 133, and 134, which will be the Retaliation of the Joes.
G.I. Joe Retaliation.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes. But there's
see how that
something
goes.
now, which is you talking about toys.
Chris talks about toys, ho ho. Chris talks about G.I. Joe. He talks about all the things from the comic book and the animated show. Chris talks about toys. Chris talks about toys. Chris talks about toys. Chris talks about toys.
And I'm going to really piss you off now. Like, more than you ever would care to know.
So there potentially is going to be an Inside Chief's Mind on this show.
Yes. Okay, so I decided when I was reading through these issues, there's a lot. I mean, that Stalker I spoke a lot about earlier on, but I figured like I've covered him in Chris Talks Toys without talking toys in the Talking Toys section. So, and he is close to my heart, that particular figure. The one I'm going to go with, you're going to hate me so much, is Road Pig version 2 because it is just bonkers. Okay, it's ridiculous. 1, 2. It is like the most incredibly insane deco, and also has some of the greatest artwork I have ever seen on a Joe card. It's brilliant. Like,
wow.
When I post the pictures, I think you'll agree. It's got some of the best Road Pig art you'll ever likely to see because it's just so full of personality, and he's hideous. He is absolutely hideous in the card art. It is remarkable. Okay, so the US brings this particular figure out in 1991 as part of the Supersonic Fighters subset.
It's an awesome new level of light and sound. With 4 new sounds and battle lights. There's Falcon, Psych Out, and the evil Major Blood. Each soul
Now, previous to this, the year before, they'd had the Sonic Fighters.
Get G.I. Joe down! Listen up! G.I. Joe never sounded like this before! Sonic Fighters! Only G.I. Joe Sonic Fighters come with an electronic backpack with 4 different combat sounds, like laser rifles and machine guns.
Dial tone, behind you! Tunnel Rat, cover me!
A real American hero! Get G.I. Joe down! Sonic Fighters come with electronic backpack and 4 different combat sounds.
And the Supersonic Fighters were effectively the same deal, same kind of thing, backpacks that make sounds and redecos of, other figures, but then also, a couple of new builds. So I believe the first Sonic Fighters they were all repaints. It was Tunnel Rat Law, Dial Tone, Dodger, I want to say the Cobra Viper and the Lamprey, and they were all kind of like just colours. I think Dial Tone might have been a new build actually. Sorry, I should have done more research on this. Mention it in the comments, or and we know you will. You'll tell me how I'm wrong at some point for something.
I'll try my best. Yeah.
They will anyway. And then obviously the Supersonic Fighters came out with this kind of, again, it was slightly newer packaging, newer design. Instead, like the last Sonic Fighters had this kind of like distorted Sonic, like yellow and green kind of effect behind them, and now this one had this pulsing red kind of circle ray kind of thing going off behind the characters on the card art. The electronic Supersonic Fighters was the kind of stamp on the G.I. Joe stripes as like the little kind of logo for them. And Road Pig, wow, I mean, what can you say? Road Pig was a redeco of his original figure. So I'll go through the main colour changes and then one extra colour change, which I just think was amazing. So they gave him orange hair, bright orange hair with a green stripe that ran, kind of around the halfway point from just over one ear to the other side of his ear. So kind of that green stripe all the way around. He had blue, this kind of really deep navy blue or kind of almost purpley, dark purple pants or trousers with a green codpiece that had red studs on it, or orange studs on it, sorry, and then green shin boot kind of guard things, and then blue boots. So he's kind of got these like green shin guards on effectively. And all the other little straps and stuff were kind of like, he had the green strap on his thigh, green straps on his arm, and then one of those blue gloves or purple gloves on his left hand. His shoulder kind of like American football padding gear, or his like Legion of Doom cosplay gear, was bright orange. This kind of, it's almost like, it's kind of like a kind of corally colour, I think, but it's like, it's bright and it's insane. And then he's got these 2 weapons. One is a flamethrower that looks like a long rifle, and one is this kind of double-barreled, like 2 circular magazine-fed machine gun weapon that is just really weird but awesome at the same time. And obviously his green backpack, which made these amazing sounds with little lights that flashed, little red lights that were on the top. So obviously I'll post all these pictures so you can see, mainly for you, Chief, than the fans. We actually got him in the UK in 92. Basically the same, effectively the exact same thing, but we were allowed to sell it in the UK. And then, funny enough, I didn't actually have this version of Road Pig until much later on when I picked up a kind of like a shoebox of random Joes at a garage sale or a car boot sale, let's say. And yeah, it's just an amazing figure. It's ridiculous. So the sounds are amazing. They make those do you remember having one of those as a kid, those little, there's like a key ring with a little buttons on it that made machine gun sounds,
they're
like
quality.
Explosions, exactly the same sounds. They didn't even change anything. It was like the machine gun, an electronic sound, like a explosion, and then the kind of wee kind of explosion. So they're really rubbish but awesome at the same time. Now, his file card is quite cool. So codename Road Pig, Dreadnought, obviously that hasn't changed. Donald DeLuca, or file name DeLuca, Donald. Birthplace Goblu, or Go Blue, Michigan. I don't know how you pronounce that. It's in Michigan anyway. The only Dreadnought to have ever gone through a probationary period, Road Pig is extremely obnoxious even by Dreadnought standards. This guy pushes the needle to red on the evil meter. I mean, we're talking low on the food chain and high on the nasty list. No one knows for sure how Road Pig obtained his inner-cooled incendiary burst flamethrower, his 45 XM 1919 A10 fully automatic blowback machine gun. Suffice it to say, the guy he borrowed them from isn't around to talk about it anymore. And then the quote is, gross.
He's retired, or...
Yeah, because he's dead, mate. Gross. You could say that. Road Pig doesn't drink orange soda and eat nutritious and yummy chocolate-covered donuts like the other Dreadnoughts. Nutritious? He subsists entirely on a diet of barbecue-flavoured fried pork rinds, fast food burritos, frozen corn dogs and stale baseball card bubble gum. Once a year, when he brushes his teeth, he has to use industrial tub cleaner instead of toothpaste. And the art next to it shows his teeth, and they're so hideous. Anyway, that's Road Pig. He also appeared obviously in the comics, he also appeared in this style in the Deke cartoon, and I'll get some screenshots of that as well. But yeah, a real insane deco, but just one I have so much love for. And then the club recently, for one of their last kind of final 12 figure releases, brought out this Road Pig deco, and it's absolutely gorgeous. I did a Diagnostic 80s reviews on it, which I'll send your way so you can throw it up on Twitter. But yeah, that's Road Pig version 2, US 91, UK 92.
Excellent, good stuff. I do like that figure. I'm not saying I massively dislike it, but I think because
fun, isn't it?
Because I'd seen the previous version, I've got a more inkling towards that. But the guy's still Road Pig inside, and what really counts is what's inside. There'll be more toy talking.
It's what's inside that counts.
You know what I always say?
It's what's inside that counts. My friend, it's not the peel, it's the orange, is what's inside that counts. My friend,
it's not the crust, it's the filling.
So if you're feeling low
because somebody's copying you,
you don't
automatically have to sue.
The world is big enough for two. It's what's inside that counts, my friend.
It's not the jacket, it's the tater.
It's what's inside that counts, my friend.
It's the moon, not the crackers.
There'll be more toy talking next week, as always. And right now, though, we've got to talk about British colloquialisms, a.k.a. over-egging that good old pudding.
We got a pudding, we're gonna egg it. We got a pudding, we're gonna over-egg it. We got a pudding, We got no criticisms, that means it's time for some British colloquialisms.
So this week I have been using this quite a lot because I find it quite funny, and it's one that I used as a kid, and it is, especially when I've been eating beans, I do a lot of trumping.
Brilliant. I tried to tell people
not your Donald variety.
I've been trying to tell people that Trumps are farts in this country, and they love it. Whenever I tell them that, they're like, "Oh, that's amazing."
Trump. The other one I used to use was guff.
Guff is a good one.
Done a smelly guff there.
Grundle bunches. No, yeah, you're right. No. Total.
Trump and guff for me this week.
Amazing.
Or Parp.
Parp's a cute one. That's a cute one.
Go for it.
I created a little cartoon character when I was in junior school called Penartley Farp and Parp. And I know, and he basically was like a little fart shape, kind of like a little poop cloud type thing. That was in infant school, junior school, whatever. Anyway, that just reminded me of that. I don't know why I said it out loud, but yeah, Penartley Farp and Parp. So I'll draw a picture and send it to you and see if
please do.
We can post it. That's Penartley. I can't even say it. Penartley Farp and Parp. Anyway. I can't believe I disclosed that information. So full disclosure on this show. Chief called me very early this morning. I woke up at about 7 to, deal with my little buddy, Max, just before Kate left for work. Or Kate woke me up just before she went for work to tell me that Max had a rough night. So I got up, had a poop. And during my poop, full disclosure, of course, Chief messaged me and says, "Can you talk quickly for 2 minutes?" I'm like, well, yes and no. So I finished my poop, wiped up, went into the into my studio and spoke to you on Skype, and it got to the end of the call, and I'm not sure if you noticed this, but I signed off with a slightly different sign off than I usually do, and it's something that it's a Norfolk colloquialism. So for those that aren't aware, Norfolk is the east coast of the United Kingdom. If you were to look at a map of the United Kingdom, if you imagine it to be a witch on a broomstick, which I've always imagined the UK to look like, with Scotland as the witch's head, it looks like Norfolk is the witch's ass. So right, it's the big bump on the right hand side, down quite low, but it's the east coast basically. And on that little bump, on that circular area, there's this place called Norfolk. Well, the whole place is called Norfolk, and Suffolk, and Cambridgeshire. But anyway, Norfolk, there's this colloquialism that we used to have, because I grew up in North Walsham, which is right in the kind of, and Munsley, which is right kind of in the heart of Norfolk, and Norwich was our main city. And we used to say goodbye, there was a shortened version of cheerio, which happens, and you end up going chio. So at the end of when you're saying goodbye, this Norfolk colloquialism is to say chio instead of cheerio.
Do you have to say it in that kind of
chio
1950s old school man?
Chio, yes, because you can't say chio. Like I said it then, like normally, it still sounds like it's like when you say beer can. You can't help but say like bacon in a Jamaican accent. Like, you can't say beer can without it sounding like a Jamaican accent bacon. So yeah, it's the same thing. So chio is a
chio.
Yeah, there you go. And you've got to say. I'm going to say that at the end now of this episode.
So everyone who's listening, use chio at least once in the coming week, please. And yeah, there'll be more colloquialisms next week. That's a good one, because I was not aware of that one. So
I'm well over egging the pudding in every segment today. Apologies.
Egg that puppy up, baby. We can't close the show without a little something like...
I thought you were going to say we can't...
Chris, a question.
I thought you were going to say we can't close the show. Sorry.
Chief asked Chris a question. What'll he say? What'll he do when Chief asks Chris a question?
Parp.
Yes, so this is the 96-hour spectacular marathon episode of Talking Joe.
It's the same amount of time that we always do. And we added an extra issue. Come on.
Yeah, we did, yeah. I don't know, my laptop has gone to a black screen, so I can't even tell how long we've been recording.
Chief, up the podcast.
My question this week is, I mentioned at the start that I've been watching the World Championship Athletics. If you were to take part in an athletic event, i.e. track and or field, where do you see yourself?
Well, when I was in junior school and going into high school, I was
long jumper.
Well, no, it was high jump was my favourite.
High jump?
Yeah, because I just loved that whole kind of technique of it. It was really, like, to get my head round early on was really hard. I did like a few kind of long jump, triple jump kind of, I suppose what they called, like meets and stuff, but I always found that I wasn't as natural at it as I was with the high jump. I just preferred the high jump and thought it was cool. And yeah,
Fosbury flop.
The Fosbury flop, yeah. So I would have to probably go with that. Yeah.
That's because prior to the Fosbury flop, whoever that dude was, Mr. Fosbury, it
was like the scissor kick, wasn't it?
They used to, kind of like trying to hurdle it, which is crazy. Women's high jump was actually on last night, and it was a good final. I think they were jumping like 2 meters. I think.
Wow.
Which is, when you look at it, you see it on the TV and you're okay, fine. Or you see the pole vault, which was like 6 meters. Okay, fine. That looks like a long way. But when you're actually there, and
it's mental.
You're kind of if you just draw 2 meters up the side of a wall, and you're like, someone actually jumped over that without a trampoline or a springboard.
I mean, they're clearing you effectively.
It's absolutely ridiculous. So, and I love minority sports, and I love athletics.
Minority Report. Sorry, carry on.
I haven't seen that for ages. Actually, is it worth rewatching?
Yeah, pretty dope movie.
Might do that. Whenever the Olympics is on, winter or summer, I take 2 weeks off work, and I have 3 TVs and a laptop, so I can watch 4 events at the same time.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, so I can have equestrian and gymnastics and swimming, and then weightlifting all at the same time. So I'm watching everything. I take 2 weeks off work, and
that's amazing.
The thing I like, especially about
how are we going to do the show during that period of time? Just hiatus, is it?
Where is it? It's in Tokyo, so we'll have to work out the time difference, and we'll be okay. But yeah, it just amazes me, athletics, that someone can make a career out of literally just jumping over a stick, or just
Well, that's one way of simplifying it. Yeah,
jumping into a sandpit. It's amazing. Love it. Just boil the essence of sport down to one supreme feat of athleticism.
That's what blows my mind about like decathletes and all those kind of people that are doing like multiple things, triathletes and so on, who do multiple like disciplines. It just blows my mind that they can do all of those and to such a high degree. Is it Denise Lewis that used to do like? Yeah. I feel like she did like a ton and was amazing at everything she did.
Heptathlon, yeah.
Unreal.
Yep. Good stuff. I'll be back to watching more athletics.
Can I?
Yeah, why not?
We include? This is probably more Olympic sports, isn't it, than track and field? But like, like that sport where you go out with a rifle and like skis. Whatever that is, I want to do that because I feel like snow job or blizzard in that sense.
Yeah. So basically, a bit of skiing. They come to a shooting station and. Then there's several different disciplines over several different distances, but some of them are, you then do like a prone, so laying down, shoot 5 targets.
How awesome would that be?
There's one which is standing, so then you do some more skiing, you come back to that shooting thing, you do standing, and then there's a couple of things where you have 5 shots, and for every shot you miss, you
lose a leg,
suffer a time penalty. And then there's other ones where you just keep firing until you've hit all 5 targets, and only once you've got all 5 you're then released to go off and ski again. But yeah, I love a bit of biathlon, all those skiing stuff's quality.
Awesome. Yeah, I'd be down for that. I do like that kind of stuff as well.
Okay.
Right. But we're talking track and field, so yeah.
High jumper.
High jump is fine. Yeah.
All right. Cool. If you want to join us next week, and why wouldn't you want to? Like I said, we'll be covering issues 132, 133, 134. So do your homework, read the issues. If you like the show, rate and review us. Go on to the iTunes or Spotify,
don't do that.
Or wherever it is, and the little purple icon, I think it is. And,
don't rate us if it's going to be 1 star, though. I mean, like,
give us 5, surely.
Yeah,
surely 5.
Surely, surely.
Say that Chris and Chief sent you. That'll get us up there. You can get us in all the usual places. It's talking_Joe on the Twitter. It's Talking Joe Comics on Instagram. It's talkingjoecomics@gmail.com, or it's Talking Joe at G.I. Joe Podcast on the Book of Face. Where can the people find you, sir?
All the usual all the usual places. It's Diagnostic 80 on Twitter and Instagram, and of course the Full Force Podcast on Facebook, Twitter, iTunes, Podbean and Stitcher, YouTube, and of course Patreon.
Yeah. Find me on Cheeky Two Shoes on Twitter if you want to. You don't have to. I don't really go on there much. But that's it. We're gonna catch you down the road. Cheerio.
Cheerio. Brilliant.
Very good. Very good.
No.